For the last couple of nights, a buzz of activity at Staples Center, the home of your Lakers. But the hardwood put away and the carpet is laid down, and a good crowd expected. As mentioned live tonight, it's Arena Football League action on Fox Sports Net 2. Your Avengers play host to one of the powerhouses of the league, the Arizona Rattlers. Hello again, everybody, and welcome. I'm Bill Macdonald, Dave Norrie alongside, and in just a matter of moments, John Jackson will also join us. But tonight, big one for the Avengers. Third time this year they play the Arizona Rattlers. Once in the preseason, once in the regular season. But Dave, the big story is finally, the Avengers got their first win last week. They had to go across country to get it, but they got it.
Yeah, Los Angeles got off the snide a week ago against New England, riding a 7-game losing streak to open up the regular season, but they came alive in the second half. Todd Marinovich, a short touchdown pass to Anthony Rice to get the comeback moving. And then Larry Thompson picks off the ball at the 3-yard line, returns it, weaving his way through offensive players for the Seawolves, all the way back 47 yards for the touchdown. And then to cap things off in the scoring, the first time this season, the LA Avengers led in the second half. A 14-yard hookup between Marinovich and Chris Jackson gave the Avengers the lead. And then Kevin Cobb knocking away a pass with 2 seconds on the clock to preserve a 50-46 victory. A long time coming for Casey Wasserman, the youngest owner in sports franchise history. You see the hugs and smiles on the sideline, and I look for a great test tonight. They're playing the Arizona Rattlers, world champions in 1994 and 1997, coming off a disappointing loss last week against San Jose down in Phoenix.
Offensively throughout the year, horrible inconsistency has plagued the Avengers, but it seems as though now Todd Marinovich has a comfort level with Shannon Culver and a Rookie of the Year candidate, John Jackson, in Chris Jackson.
That's right, Billy, and what a year Chris Jackson is having. He's been outstanding. He leads the team in yardage, receptions, and scoring. That is what has made him the AFL Rookie of the Year candidate. And then last week, the biggest catch in Avenger history, Chris Jackson in the corner from Todd Marinovich. I had a chance to catch up with Todd before the game. He said he's very comfortable throwing to Chris Jackson. He will go back to him in the clutch, so look for that combo again. Back to you, Bill.
And David, also, I think Todd Marinovich looking to strike long a little bit more. It was short for so many games, but Todd Marinovich has that mindset that he wants to score on just about every play.
Well, no doubt about it. And he's always been a very gifted deep passer. Doesn't have a rifle for an arm, has above average arm strength, throws the deep ball well. He's got a lot of speed on the outside. Travis Hanna, Chris Jackson, Anthony Rice. It's going to be a shootout tonight.
We're looking forward to this game for two reasons. The Avengers are coming off of their first win, and one of the premier teams in the AFL is in the house. We're talking about the Arizona Rattlers. And when the trio returns, we will dial you in to Danny White's team, two-time world champions, when we come back after this.
There's a good reason why no one walks in LA. The 2000 Toyota 4Runner.
I could really see me in this.
4Runner is an IntelliChoice best overall value. Powerful and incredibly affordable.
This is a really good deal.
It's a great deal.
So get down to your Toyota dealer today. It's easy to own a new 4Runner.
Let's go for it.
Let's do it.
There's nothing like McDonald's. For over 40 years, we've been a part of your life. We're what you begged for as a kid and what your kids beg for today. We've always been a place of value that started with our original McDonald's hamburger, still only 29 cents every Wednesday, and our classic cheeseburger, just 39 cents every Sunday, or our crispy 6-piece chicken McNuggets, only 89 cents every Tuesday. There's nothing like McDonald's. For food, for fun, for memories. Did somebody say McDonald's?
Compliments, meaningless nouns. Turn on, tune in, turn your eyes around.
Give me a head with hair, long, beautiful hair.
To everything, turn. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. In a white room with black curtains. Sign, everywhere a sign. Looking at the scenery, breaking our mind. Come on, people now. Smile.
Spirit of the 60s on 2 cassettes or 2 CDs. Call this toll-free number for Spirit of the 60s. Cassettes $19.98, CDs $26.98 plus $5.50 shipping. Have your credit card ready and call now.
We are in downtown Los Angeles tonight. Gorgeous Staples Center Arena Football League action on Fox Sports Net 2. In town tonight to face the Avengers, the powerful Arizona Rattlers, and they are led at quarterback by truly one of the most exciting players in league history, and he played college ball locally here at Cal State Northridge, Cedric Bonner.
Now, Cedric Bonner is truly the prototype quarterback in the Arena League. Great size, incredible mobility. You look at his completion percentage, over 61%, 45 touchdown passes on the year, a great touchdown interception ratio, but most importantly in my mind, Billy, only one sack in his last 1,100 plus pass attempts. I mean, he is truly one of the great ones to play in this league, period.
That note is truly mind-boggling, but it all starts at the top with Arizona, doesn't it, JJ?
Yeah, that's right, Billy. And the top for the Arizona Rattlers is head coach and general manager Danny White. All folks will recognize him from his Dallas Cowboys days, but he's made a great adjustment from the NFL to the AFL game. Remember, we usually are talking about players making that jump, but Danny White has made a terrific adjustment. He already has 2 AFL championships under his belt, and he has his Rattlers seeking first place, tie with San Jose tonight. Back to you, Bill.
And, John, they'll be going after Todd Marinovich, and therein, I think, lies the key to tonight's game. Back when they first met in May in the regular season, it was Marinovich's debut. He'll be much more comfortable tonight.
Well, he will. If you go back to that game down in Phoenix, 3 interceptions, below 50% completion percentage. He was just getting his feet wet. It was really a baptism by fire. Tonight, he's got some starts under his belt. He's a lot more confident. And we know that Todd Marinovich has done it at the NFL level. He did it at USC, took his team to a Rose Bowl victory. He's very capable to come up with a victory tonight.
As always, we are ready to go. All the excitement of the Arena Football League. Just listen to James Earl Jones.
For too long, the valleys have been undefended. Witness the new millennium. Intruders, beware. Avengers.
No doubt about it, when you want to save, you're first at Ralph's in every way. Gonna make a difference day after day. You're first at Ralph's. When you want it fresh, you know we give our best. You're first at Ralph's.
Come see why more people shop at Ralph's than any other supermarket in Southern California. Ralph's, first in California.
Why is the sky blue? What are bugs made of? You could always ask Dad anything. And now, with a special Father's Day package from Verizon Wireless, he'll still be in touch with all the answers. Get Dad a colorful AudioVox 4000 phone. Then for $24.99 a month, get free unlimited mobile-to-mobile calling with other Verizon Wireless customers in your home calling area. For the perfect Father's Day, no questions asked. Visit a Verizon Wireless communications store or call 1-888-466-4646. Verizon Wireless. Join in.
Fox Sports Net 2 is proud to present Avengers Football, brought to you by The Daily News. Pick up a copy and get in the game. For home delivery, call 1-800-232-NEWS. By Wells Fargo, official bank of the Los Angeles Avengers. By Macdonald's. Did somebody say McDonald's? By your Southern California Toyota dealers. Buy or lease today. We make it easy. By Ralph's, first in California. And by... Sir, the king of beers. Oh, from the Budweiser Frogs inside to the Staples Center. We welcome you. Phil Macdonald, Dave Norrie, and J.J. John Jackson. Danny White, 9th season, needs one more win to move into sole possession of second place alone on the win list in the AFL. 2 world titles, and of course a great career in the NFL with the Cowboys.
Well, first of all, he finished his career at ASU as the leading passer in NCAA history, and of course took the Cowboys to 5 playoff appearances. Never did make an appearance in the Super Bowl. Was the opposing quarterback to Joe Montana in that great NFC Championship game. Remember the catch between Montana and Dwight Clark?
And sporting a fresh haircut, Stan Brock, first-year Avenger coach, but he's been around the league for a while. Boy, what a weight off of his and the team's shoulders. Team made a lot of changes, though, this week. Made a few trades, actually. 3 of their linemen, adios, off the team. They address some other needs, which we'll get into later on in the telecast. But here we go, Bjorn Nitmo, who kicked for the Giants in the NFL back in 89-90. There's a familiar name for you. He'll be booting it away, and it's a squib variety, and Culver takes it at the 5, and this will be great field position for the Avengers. Culver dives up across the 20 to the 21-yard line, and Todd Marinovich, been a good week for Todd. The sexual assault charge against him was officially dropped yesterday, and also coming off of that big win and a good game against New England.
Yeah, very solid game, especially if you look at the second half last week. All right, you know, 18 for 34 overall, but in the second half, he led the Avengers to 5 touchdowns and 6 possessions. I really looked at last week as Todd Marinovich getting in the groove and becoming comfortable finally with the Arena League.
After that 16-yard return, Marinovich trying to dump it short to Chilcote. He fell down. Incomplete. It'll be second down. Take a look at our Ralph's starting lineups. First of all, offensively for the Avengers, we talk about the trio now of Culver, Rice, and Jackson coming into their own. Lack of weapons at the beginning of the season really brought down this team. Victor Hall, he's just itching to get loose from the tight end position. In fact, he already has 100 yards on the season, which is a career high. Onesian is one of the new faces, and he starts at guard wearing number 51. Second down, the southpaw, Marinovich fires over the middle, caught, this will be a touchdown, and Jackson on the second play of the game. The Avengers have the lead. 29 yards. And it isn't often the Avengers lead, and they do quickly in this one against one of the premier teams in the AFL.
And a great ball from Todd Marinovich. He was looking down the middle of the field on a crossing route, kind of a deep flag route to Chris Jackson, and Doggett, he takes the gamble, comes over the top with the right arm, but that ball was just too good from Todd Marinovich, and the Avengers jump on top.
Kyle Pooler on to add the extra point. That was the 49th reception of the season for CJ out of Washington State. He caught 6 balls last week in the win over the Seawolves, and we got 13-22 like lightning. We talked about the big play now being a part of the repertoire of the red, white, and blue, and they showed it right there. Take a break. When we come back after this, it'll be the Avenger kickoff. Jackson, Marinovich celebrate at Staples Center, 7-0.
In this city, the courts belong to the powerful.
Everything's in place. Kid's gonna get bail.
What? But the streets belong to Shaft.
You are gone for what?
Well, I don't care where you go. I will find you.
On June 16th.
Need someone located. I'm gonna cause you.
Samuel L. Jackson.
You wanted to play games with me. I know a load of games.
Shaft.
Can you dig it?
Rated R. Friday, June 16th, everywhere.
At Del Taco, we don't have a big media budget, so our commercials have to be memorable. That's why we've hired this daredevil to help us promote our new Ultimate Taco. Made with a huge white corn shell filled with seasoned ground beef and topped with sour cream and hearty taco sauce, and it's just 99 cents every day. Okay, drum roll, please. Not exactly what we had in mind, but memorable nonetheless.
7-0 in that number that just jumps right out at you, that in 480 minutes of football coming into this game, the Avengers have led only 30 minutes of the time, and they get a score on their first possession. And the nice crowd on hand, all to their feet after that touchdown of Chris Jackson, and Kyle Pooler will be kicking off to truly one of the great players in this league in Hunky Cooper. 2 plays, 29 yards. Only took a minute and a half. Wells Fargo bringing it to you. Hunky already has returned 3 kicks for scores, and the next return for a touchdown will break his tie with George LaFrance. He'll take this one off the net. Actually fumbled, stumbled, and then Maurice Bryant has to cover up at the 2-yard line.
But taking a look at that last touchdown play, LA jumping on top early in this football game. And watch Todd Marinovich. 5-step drop in the pocket, perfectly in rhythm, lets it go on time, and watch the ball placement. I mean, beautiful placement on this pass. A nice crisp route by Chris Jackson. The gamble by Doggett. And Jackson walks into the end zone.
Multi-sports star at Cal State Northridge, Cedric Bonner, is the quarterback. 2 left-handers tonight from his own end zone. Thrown and complete. Stacey Evans out across the 10, close to a first down. 6'4", 240 pounds. He's gained some weight since his college days. Played football, basketball, and volleyball at Northridge.
Great work over the years between Danny White and Cedric Bonner. We mentioned at the top Danny White in his 9th season coaching this Rattlers squad, but I mean, they are very much on the same wavelength, and this is well-oiled a passing machine as you'll see in this league.
Bonner with Cooper in motion. This rush game, which has been so good in years past, has been brought down a little bit. You're looking at Bob McMillan, Iron Mac, who won the rushing title last year. Minimal yardage there, and he's short of the first down. Bring up a 3rd down. Rouse, Arizona offense. McMillan, Bryant, Gatewood, and Cooper. Bryant is a Rookie of the Year candidate himself out of Houston. Comes into the game with 48 receptions. Evans, who just caught the ball a moment ago, Kenny, and Ingram. And now on 3rd down, Arizona, 43% on the year, but defensively now the Avengers giving up a first down 60% of the time to the opponents on 3rd down. Flag down, going long, and Bryant over the head, incomplete. Pretty good right there from Green on the coverage. Back and check the original flag at the line of scrimmage.
Looked like Pete Onegi in the recent acquisition picked up this week by LA was offsides, playing that right defensive end position.
Offside, number 51 of the defense. 3-yard penalty, result of the penalty, first down.
Little mistakes. And right there moves the chains for Arizona.
Onegi, as I mentioned, came over to LA this week, one of the recent round of acquisition signings made by Stan Brock and owner Casey Wasserman this week. And Todd Marinovich talking about Onegi this week in practice said, hey, I would love to quarterback behind that guy. Love the way he plays.
Cooper rounding it out in motion. Bonner under center, straight drop. Throws long, down the middle. Cooper's there. Touchdown. Wide open. Hernandez. Hunky Cooper. And you want to talk about AFL legends. There's one hauling it in 36 yards and a touchdown out of UNLV, your reigning AFL Ironman.
What a class act, Hunky Cooper. And he kicked it into that highest gear of his. This ball's in the air, and it looks initially like Bonner may have overshot him. Cooper with a little bit of speed, acceleration at the end of that route, swallows up the ball. And he's been a star ever since he entered the league back in '93. Was the MVP of the league as a rookie in 1993.
Nitmo with the left foot. He is now 50 out of 56 on extra points. We'll check the flag. Big game for Arizona tonight as they need to win to keep pace with the SaberCats, who won one of the wildest games in league history last night, 85-76.
Number 87, outside rush. That penalty's declined. The try is good.
Let me just tell you that score again. 85-76. More on that later. We're going to take a break, be right back. Maybe we're on our way to one of those ourselves here tonight. 2 long pass plays, one by each team. An exciting beginning. Stay with us. We're live tonight. Staples Center, Fox Sports at 2.
This has been the coolest summer ever. We went to Universal Studios Hollywood. First we saw the new Rugrats Magic Show, where Angelica did the most awesome tricks. Then we went to the new Mummy's Tomb and totally freaked out and helped the chickens escape through a maze in Chicken Run. Then we battled futuristic robots in Terminator 2 3D and went to the all-new City Walk. It rocks. I can't believe we did all that in just one day.
Now through July 16th, all Southern California adults get in at the kids' price. Universal Studios Hollywood, the world's largest movie studio and theme park.
Toyota puts a new spin on rush hour. The all-new Toyota Celica.
Whoa! Check this out. This is the new design.
Completely redesigned from the ground up.
Awesome. This is totally awesome.
Take it for a ride.
A race against the clock in a Celica throws time into slow motion. Make haste to your Toyota dealer. The all-new Celica is a rush.
Cooper, Hunky, who scored a touchdown 4 different ways, or actually been involved with touchdowns 4 different ways this year, receiving, kicking, rushing, and passing. Now just 1 receiving touchdown away from 100 in his illustrious career. And Nitmo will kick off, and Anthony Rice waiting deep in his own end zone. Rice to the 4. And as the Avengers take to the offense, we just want to mention that game again last night, setting an all-time record for combined points with 161, surpassing the 153 points scored by Jersey and Texas back in 1997.
How about San Jose? They're riding that winning streak, and the hottest offense clearly in the Arena League right now. Darren Arbette really has that offensive machine up at San Jose working on all cylinders. And Orlando as well last night.
Got beat.
Billy got beat. They were 7-0. Their first lost down at Orlando to Grand Rapids.
Sabercats have won 6 in a row. Marinovich trying to lead his team to 2 in a row. Batted down at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down. Ralphs now brings us the defensive lineups for Arizona. Pretty good, averaging 45 points allowed and 255 yards a game. You saw Stacey Evans on offense catch a ball a moment ago. Cooper and McMillan, 2 very talented linebackers. And then in the backfield, you've got Walker and Doggett, just real superstars. First team All-AFL last year, Cecil Doggett from West Virginia. Quickly, Jackson spins out to the 11-yard line, where Cedric Walker is there on the coverage from Stephen F. Austin. The hitman, Cedric Walker. It'll be 3rd down and short.
Nice job by Todd Marinovich on that hookup outside to Jackson. You know, a lot of the difficulty from throwing in the pocket of the quarterback position is finding throwing lanes through the defensive lineman and sometimes your own offensive lineman. And that time, nice movement by Todd Marinovich in the pocket to find the seam and get the ball outside to his wide receiver.
On 3rd down this year, the Avengers, 33%. Marinovich, Rice, had a chance. Quickly, let's go down to JJ.
Hey, Billy. Well, for the Avengers, they are not going to stand still with the 1-7 record. They made a ton of roster moves. They waived Carlos Brooks to make room for Ken Haslett, the defensive specialist. They trade Joe Burgess to New Jersey for wide receiver Bruce Lassane. They trade Eric Drakes to Oklahoma for Devin Miles. They trade Patterson Owens to Houston for future consideration. And, of course, they activate Pete O'Negian. All of these transactions happen this week. The Avengers trying to get some chemistry. Back to you.
Busy week in the Avenger front office, and now long field goal attempt by Pooler. Wide, had the distance, taken. Cooper, 5, 10, bounces off of a tackler, still on his feet. This is what makes him so good out to the 19-yard line. Cooper all-purpose yards, 2nd in the AFL, averages 22 plus a kick return. And good field position at the 19-yard line. Great vision for Hunky Cooper.
Oh, he's got great vision, but just great athletic talent. He's truly one of the best two-way players, and that's really what it's all about in the Arena League, going both ways. But look at his build, 5'9", 190 pounds. Kind of the consummate build for a running back in any level of football. And that's just a nice job changing directions. You mentioned the vision, Billy, putting his team in business in good field position.
172 all-purpose yards per game for Cooper. Bonner. McMillan. Big Bob right to midfield. Actually, that's Moran, excuse me. Ron Moran spent 3 years with Iowa, 6'3", 250 out of Southern Illinois. Rouse brings us the LA defense. What a game for Victor Hall last week. Had a couple of sacks, including a big safety. Now second in the AFL with 6 sacks overall. Chris Jackson, one of the fine two-way players. And it was Kevin Cobb, the defensive specialist, in his debut with the Avengers, who knocked away the fade pass on the final play of the game. Bonner again. End zone. Bryant bangs into the wall, but not before he's got it for a touchdown. This guy is electric. I'm talking about Maurice Bryant, 26 yards and a great tight spiral from Cedric Bonner, and the Rattlers have the lead.
Well, the Avengers defense, the defensive backs are finding out early in this football game that Bonner can put it on a string. 2 deep balls, 2 beautifully thrown touchdown passes from Bonner. The first one to Cooper, and then what a catch by Bryant going up against the pads deep in the back of the end zone.
Bonner 3 for 3, 71 yards and 2 scores already. And David, he loves to spread it around. Nitmo, who has been slumping the last couple of games, hits the iron, and it is no good, so it's 13-7 with 6:12 remaining. But Maurice Bryant is just showing everybody in the AFL how good he can be.
Well, Bryant comes into the game, 48 receptions, on the move, in motion before the snap of the football, and he runs right by Green. And Green has been victimized early in this football game. And you have got to keep a lid on the defense in the secondary, especially against the motion man. And Green has been lit up early on 2 deep balls from Cedric Bonner.
And Cliff Green, you're looking at the first overall pick in the expansion draft. Did not have a good camp. Came on and played pretty well the first few games. Has been burned time and time again, though, on the deep ball. Just got to keep things in front of them, do the Avengers, and they haven't been able to do that. And it's 13-7. There is Green from Tennessee State, 5'9", 190, and he's going up against a much taller target in Maurice Bryant at 6'1".
This core of receivers for Arizona is as deep as you'll find in the Arena League, and Bonner has a lot of weapons to go to on the outside.
Culver cleanly off the net. Stays on his feet. Jai Hill knocked him down, and he did go to a knee. So Jai Hill just got enough of Culver to knock him down at 14 yards on the return. And Marinovich will set up shop at the 9-yard line for the Avengers, now trailing 13-7.
Yeah, this is a very tall order for the Avengers. They go into New England last week. They get their first victory, but let's face it, the Seawolves were a little bit short-handed in that football game, and coming home, playing against his Arizona outfit after a disappointing loss to San Jose last week. It looks like Arizona's really loaded coming out early in this football game.
I should say they were depleted, minus a quarterback and an offensive specialist. Brian Easter gets the call, and he struggles to get back to the line of scrimmage. Let's talk a little bit about Arizona. They come in 6-2, the 2-time world champs, won in 94 and 97. They're going for their 5th straight division title. They lost last year in the semis, got bombed by Albany, the defending champions.
That's right. Albany did go on to win the Arena League Championship, but Danny White, he's got a great love for this game, and he's gotten such a great feel for offensive football, not only at the college and NFL level, but the Arena League. There's really nobody better offensively.
Marinovich fires it over the middle. That's a first down to the 21-yard line, forward progress, and that is Shannon Culver grabbing it in. And David, in 3 games coming in, 16 catches, 189 yards, and 3 touchdowns. You can add 1 to that total. He has really been a find for this Avenger offense.
And he was such a key last week at New England. 6 catches, 75 yards, 2 big touchdown catches. It's going to really be key in this football game for Todd Marinovich and Los Angeles to keep touch with Arizona. That means they're going to have to play very well offensively. Arizona is going to get their points.
Marinovich 50% in the early going, 3 out of 6. He's going in zone and hitting into the wall that time. Lookout was Kenny Haslip, who was a talented defensive back during his collegiate days at USC and has the distinction of being the first overall signee of this franchise.
Well, in motion, Haslip, the former USC Trojan, sprinter speed. And he has Doggett beat. Ball's thrown a little bit outside. Todd Marinovich keeps that ball in play. Kenny has a great shot to bring that in for a touchdown. Haslip coming back off the injured reserve list this week. He wears number 1, and that's been symbolic for the Avengers. He was the first Avenger ever on this roster. Where's that number 1?
And with a quick break and 4:13 remaining in the first, Major League Baseball and the in-league war continues. Jason Giambi, Sean Green go mano a mano. A's, Dodgers, shades of 1988. Pinchman tomorrow at 12:30 on Fox Sports Net.
Remember that home run, Canseco in game 1? Dented the camera at deep center field.
You don't want to talk about Kirk Gibson, do you?
No, I was going to get to that. You can't talk about that game without getting to Gibson versus Eckersley. But that was a pretty impressive home run early in that baseball game by Canseco off the camera. The pavilion at Chavez Ravine.
That's such a good memory, Mr. Norrie. Here is Marinovich on second down from the 20. Haslip's got it, and a first down. Actually bumped into the first down by Randy Gatewood, and Marinovich took a lick as he delivered.
The local USC Trojan fans remember Kenny Haslip as a defensive back at USC. And the type of guy who has such great speed and athleticism, this Arena League is perfect for him. Can play well at the wide receiver and the defensive back position. And he is back in action for Los Angeles and really adds a new aspect, a new weapon for Todd Marinovich on the perimeter.
With his reactivation, Carlos Brooks has been waived from this team. Marinovich going end zone, overthrowing. Flag down, late flag. Whoa! Look out. Up and over goes Shannon Culver. Part of the hijinks of arena football. Back he comes. And this flag you would suspect would be a defensive holding on Arizona and to give some free yardage to Los Angeles.
First down, Avengers!
I thought for a second there we lost Shannon Culver. You see Gatewood there, just a little grab on the break. Culver breaks off that route in the end zone and up and over. Got a little help on the other side of the padding by several spectators. And Todd Marinovich has to keep his patience, keep his poise, and remember, don't go for the long ball every time.
Looking for the go-ahead score, Marinovich. And exactly taking your word right there, didn't go end zone, went short to the 4-yard line. Culver again. And it'll be second down. Culver out of Oklahoma State. Caught 6 balls last week. A couple of touchdowns. And he's really taken some pressure off of Chris Jackson, who for a while was the only target that was available for the Avengers.
I mentioned the depth at wide receiver for Arizona. The Avengers starting to round out their depth in their wide receiver core as well. Anthony Cobb, Haslip, Hanna, Culver, Jackson.
Easter fumbles into the end zone. The worst team in the league as far as turnovers. They're a minus 14 now, are the Avengers, and they give one away right there.
Well, that's just devastating. Now this is going to come out. This is going to be a touchback. The ball come back out to the 5-yard line, as all touchbacks do in the Arena League. And that's just devastating, especially when you're looking at an Arizona team that could put points on the board so quickly. Minus 14 turnover margin, and that's the worst. They were tied for the worst coming into this game, and they take the lead. And Brian Easter, no excuse whatsoever. You can see there's air between the football and his body on that play. Watch the air right here as the ball gets loose from his body, trying to stretch it out for the touchdown. If you stretch a football out, try to break that imaginary plane on the goal line, you better make sure you're secure, and he was not secure with the football.
Bonner, who's been brilliant here in the first quarter, slings it sidearm in and out of the hands of Bryant. Would have been a great catch, and then was up for grabs. And Green and Gatewood were in the vicinity. It'll be second down, but Bonner, such a big frame and can see over that line and really has a cannon.
He does, and he's going to stop here and get the play from head coach Danny White, but you can see from that last play, he can throw the ball from many different platforms. Watch him sling it from about sidearm, maybe 60% there. Dangerous ball, though. If you're going to let the ball go on that type of release, you better be accurate with it.
Second down. And making a quick move was one of the new Avengers, Kevin Carroll from Knoxville College, who, when talking to Stan Brock before the game, singled out as he was hoping to contribute mightily here tonight.
3-yard penalty remains second down.
Early in this football game, 2 offsides penalties against Los Angeles, both by new players. One, Kevin Carroll, the other, Pete Onagian. And remember Kevin Carroll, he played for the Anaheim Piranhas 5 years ago here in the LA area. Get a look at Stan Brock, the head coach, coming off his first victory here with Los Angeles. And of course, Stan Brock had plenty of victories to show over the last 3 years as the head coach with the Portland Forest Rattlers.
Some room now for Bonner. Jai Hill in motion. Bonner. Hill. Incomplete. Good coverage by Kenny Haslip. Third down upcoming. And in case you weren't with us in the open, please, David, reiterate that thought about the protection afforded Bonner and also his escapability, how few times he has been sacked over the last couple of years.
Really jumped off the page, and you look at the press release this week, 1 sack in his last 1,100 plus attempts, 1,133 attempts coming into this game, only 1 sack over the course of that streak. And you know, that goes all the way back to 1996. He was sacked earlier this year, Billy. That was the first time Bonner was sacked, going all the way back to 1996. Now, he sat out 99, but that's one of the incredible statistics I've seen any level of football.
And you know the scary thing? Arizona's only given up 1 sack this year. They're still second in the league in that department. Nashville has yet to give up a sack here in the year 2000. Maurice Bryant and the Arizona Rattlers have the lead, 13-7. We're back with more in a moment.
Leave the city behind. Leave everything behind. The new 240 horsepower Infiniti QX4. Imagine the ultimate luxury vehicle. We have.
The gift that lasts forever. The Jewelry Exchange in Tustin imports all their diamonds direct. They carry thousands of diamonds, most GIA or EGL certified, and all the guaranteed lowest prices. 1-carat solitaires start at $5.99. The Jewelry Exchange makes all their jewelry in their state-of-the-art factory and has hundreds of rings, pendants, earrings, and bracelets. Only the Jewelry Exchange in Tustin guarantees all their jewelry to appraise for at least double, that's right, double the purchase price. Buy factory direct and save. The Jewelry Exchange in Tustin.
Fitness isn't just about looking good. It's also about staying strong and staying active. That's exactly why you need a Bowflex. You can work out anytime you want. You can reshape your body by building muscle and burning calories. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. It doesn't matter how old you are. Because with more than 60 different exercises and 10 simple training routines, Bowflex can deliver the kind of workout you need to get the results you really want. You can lose weight. You can be stronger. You can build muscle. And you can do it with the Bowflex. It's quick, easy, convenient, and takes as little as 20 minutes a day because Bowflex incorporates both strength and aerobic exercise. Bowflex even folds up to save space. Visit us on the internet at www.bowflexdirect.com. For a free video and brochure, call right now.
15 minutes complete. We're live tonight with the AFL on Fox Sports Net 2. And coming up immediately after our game, it's the all-new, the fresh National Sports Report featuring news, opinions, and highlights from a new perspective. It's interactive, too. It's tonight after the game, the National Sports Reports. You know, Dave, you look at the stats in the first quarter, up and down first downs, passing yards, total yards, number of plays, relatively even. The only thing that really tells the story there is the one turnover by the Avengers inside the 5. Otherwise, it'd be a one-point game.
Yeah, LA without the fumble probably leads this game right now by a point.
Bonner on third down. Big play for the Avenger defense. Escapes, throws, and caught. Bryant. Wonderful composure by Bonner, just sidestepped, and Bryant finds his way to get open. First down for the Rattlers.
Yeah, Bonner has a nice little gift of being able to slide in the pocket. He's not the type of guy who's always going to scramble and look for yardage. He moves in the pocket, uses his mobility, finds throwing lanes down the field. And if there's been one area where the Avengers have been snake bit on defense all year long, it's giving up those key third down conversions. They had a chance right there to take the ball back, force a very long field goal attempt.
60% defensively, giving it up. Horrid. Here's Bonner. Got his man. 19-yard line, another first down, and that is Cooper.
Stopping in Cobb for Los Angeles.
And they'll move the chains. Bonner, we mentioned he spreads it around. He is 61% in the completion department, which is darn good. 94 Arena Bowl MVP, and one of 5 players in AFL history to pass now for at least 15,000 yards. He passed that in week number 4.
Bonner off to a hot start, 5 of 7, 2 touchdown passes, and he's got such a great feel for this game. He takes what you give him on defense, not afraid to drop the ball off underneath to set up the deep passing game.
Hasn't thrown an interception in the last 4 games. End zone, almost threw it right there, and 2 flags. Rice was there and in position to pick it up, but did he push off to get that position?
Well, initially it looked like a great break on the ball by Rice, but I'm pretty sure this is going to go against number 8.
Interference, number 8 of the defense. 8-yard penalty, automatic first down.
The toughest position to play on the field in Arena League is not the quarterback position, but defensive back. You've got a wide receiver in motion, and there's a left hand on the jersey. It's a pretty easy one to call there in the defensive backfield, and the right call. As a defensive back, you have to deal with a lot of man-to-man coverage. You have to deal with wide receivers in motion towards the line of scrimmage at the snap of the football. I mean, this game is set up for the passing offense. It is as tough as you'll get for a defensive back.
Bryant will be the man in motion, but a quick hit up the middle, and bowling his way down to the 7-yard line is Bob McMillan, 6'3", 255, and yearly, as I mentioned, David, one of the AFL's most productive backs, came in leading the team in rushing with 80 yards. Second team All-AFL in 1999. He's a good one.
Went to one of those Division III powerhouses, Illinois Benedictine. Actually, I'm not even sure, Billy, whether that's Division III. I'm going to get a few letters on that, but it's the first time I had heard of that school.
So you just assume they're a powerhouse. Bonner, great protection. Gunned that one high and wide. Intended receiver was Hunky Cooper.
That's a problem with being an announcer here in Los Angeles. There's probably over 1,000 people that went to Illinois Benedictine hanging out in the metropolitan area. So see if our producer Dave Frederick will give us a report on a ringing phone down in the...
Send your cards and letters and emails direct to Dave Norrie, care of Fox Sports Net 2.
Care of the 50yardward.com.
All right, here's that third down again. Bonner inside the 10. Bonner goes incomplete. So the Avengers with a stop right here, and Nitmo will most certainly come on for a kick. And you're looking at a big target in Randy Gatewood along the near side, who just got married this past Sunday. Actually had a poor game the other day against San Jose. Many thought he was thinking about those wedding bells.
So he just missed it right there. Danny White had a few words for Cedric Bonner. He had a receiver open out in the flat and didn't hit him. And Bonner's made a couple good deep throws early in this football game, but he has overshot several receivers in the short to intermediate zone.
I mentioned Nitmo has had his problems. 6 out of 13 on his attempts, but that one is right into the net. Bjorn Nitmo, Appalachian State. Long-time NFL, AFL kicker. 11 minutes remaining, first half, 16-7, Avengers are down. Arizona trying to catch San Jose, the red-hot SaberCats in the Western Division standings. And they're on top of the Avengers, beating them right now on the scoreboard. And Arizona, with our LA newspaper group, total yard stat, well ahead of Los Angeles in that department, too. (147-100). They average nearly, well, they average over 300 yards per game on offense and 51 points per. You know, defensively last week, Stan Brock's team finally held an opponent under 50 points, and they got a victory in the process. They were on course to set a record for most points ever given up in arena history. Still might happen if they fall apart this season, but you hold under 50, you got a chance for a victory. Rice, who had that one big return earlier, circled his way into a tackle at the 8-yard line. Down by 13. Marinovich and the Avengers take hold.
Nice play by Wendell Gaines, number 99 on the kick coverage team for Arizona. Looks like we have a Rattler down on the field. It's Oscar Sturgis, number 90. Big 300-pounder out of North Carolina.
Who was a 7th-round pick a couple of years ago by the Dallas Cowboys. Played a little tight end and defensive end while in college at North Carolina. And he is down. Coming up at the half, Stan Brock will take a look at the head coach of your Avengers. Have first half highlights, first half stats. My partner David Norrie will expertly take you through both of those. That's coming up at the half. We have 1:29 remaining, but remember the 1-minute warning coming up, and then the stop clock segment. It's been a tough schedule so far for the Avengers, one of the toughest maybe in the AFL. Only 2 of their 8 opponents so far have been 500 or worse, and only 2 teams coming up on the schedule have losing records.
Well, it's been a rough stretch for the Avengers. 4 out of the last 5 games on the road, and all 4 of those games in the month of May. Pretty tough May in terms of what the schedule maker dealt Stan Brock and the Avengers, but a little bit more friendly the rest of the way. In fact, 4 of the last 6 games at home at Staples Center. We'll be bringing you that game against the Florida Bobcats on the 18th.
Yeah, out of 4 out of 5 on the road, 4 of the last 6 at home. That sounds awfully good to the Avengers. As Oscar Sturgis gets helped off.
Well, and you look at the Arizona Rattlers. I mean, 3 weeks ago, they go down and they wax the Albany Firebirds on the road. They shut out the Firebirds, the top scoring team in the Arena Football League in the first half. They led 28-0. Kept pouring it on in the second half, led by 35 at one point. But they got hit pretty hard by San Jose, a surprise win by the SaberCats last week, and they're looking for revenge in LA.
Marinovich to Jackson and out of bounds near midfield. But you're right, that win in week 6 over Albany by 24 points after it was over, called one of the biggest in franchise history in the regular season for the Arizona Rattlers, and it has been quite a productive history over the last decade.
Well, no doubt about it. Arizona is one of the 4 or 5 teams that has a legitimate shot to win the Arena League Championship, going to the Arena Bowl, and of course they've won 2 in their history, 94 and 97. Danny White looking for number 3. How about Orlando, the Predators? Undefeated until last night, lost at home to Grand Rapids.
Exactly a minute remaining. First half, Marinovich, Jackson, good spin move, run after catch. CJ to the 13-yard line. Extra yardage and a first down for the LA Avengers. And Jackson, who has been a star all season long, caught the winning touchdown last week. Got one right here. He had 10 catches the first time they met back in May.
Well, they're good receivers, and they're great receivers, and sometimes your ability after the catch to pick up positive yards creates the difference. And what a great reverse spin move to the outside by Jackson. You see there 4 catches, over 60 yards, averaging over 16 yards a catch tonight with a touchdown under his belt. What a weapon he was at Washington State with 3 or 4 other wide receivers for Ryan Leaf. A Rose Bowl visit 3 years ago.
Marinovich goes to him again. Touchdown! Jackson and the Avengers. There's your combo, folks. Marinovich, Jackson equals 6. And it's 23-16 with half a minute remaining in the second quarter.
Jackson was not working against an average defensive back either. Cedric Walker, he's one of the best in the league, and perfectly thrown ball on the fade by Marinovich.
Jackson, who as a rookie is in the top 10 in yardage for a receiver. Todd now 6 of his last 6, 82 yards in that span and a score, 9 of 13 overall and 2 touchdowns.
One of the secrets of throwing the fade at the quarterback position is getting the ball up early. Get the ball up early, and sometimes you can catch the defensive back without a look back to the football, and that's exactly what happened. You look at number 5, Walker, he never got his eyes back to the quarterback, never got his eyes back to the ball. Perfectly placed fade, and Jackson extends and then protects as he goes up against the pads. Todd Marinovich really starting to settle in at the quarterback position for Los Angeles.
And you can see Todd celebrating. And for everyone who thought, you know, how is Todd Marinovich going to take to the arena game? Is he going to enjoy it? Why is he there? I'm here to tell you, first and foremost, he's having fun. He's competing. He wants to win. You saw it in his actions, in his play,
making
in his
a little
demeanor.
money.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he is the consummate professional and enjoying it all the while, this experience with the Avengers. And that's not glossing over things. That's the truth.
Well, and let's be honest. I mean, he's had his ups and downs on the field and off the field over the last decade plus. But, you know, if he can continue to develop, there are going to be a few quarterbacks like Kurt Warner to get shots in the NFL down the line, and Todd might just get another.
You know what's ironic is Bonner is property of the Chargers, the quarterback we're seeing for Arizona, and Marinovich is getting a look-see from the Chargers. So I'm sure that Mike Riley might be tuning into this or have at least half an eye on what's going on here at Staples Center tonight with Bonner and Marinovich.
Well, if Todd Marinovich is going to make it to the next level, he's going to have to improve, I think, personally, with his feet. He's going to have to become a little bit more aggressive with his feet in the pocket, throw the ball on time, get a little bit more live with his arm. And that's not just arm strength. That's rhythm. That's footwork. And I think he has the ability to, but he's going to have to work hard to convert on that opportunity if he gets it.
Ryan, doubled up by Green. And also Bruce Lesane, who was acquired from New Jersey in a trade this week. Big target offensively. Timeout, Rattlers. 23 seconds remaining. Both teams with a couple of timeouts left.
Nice look there at Cedric Bonner and his coach Danny White, who in his day was as good as you'd find at the quarterback position. Arizona State, we mentioned he finished his career as the #1 passer in NCAA history for the Sun Devils. In fact, he was just inducted into the NCAA College Football Hall of Fame last December. Proud to say my head coach at UCLA, Terry Donahue, was recently named to the Hall of Fame, along with some great LA area football players. John Elway, a coach, of course, grew up playing high school football out in the Valley, and Marcus Allen, both inducted in the College Hall of Fame.
Congratulations to all of them. And here, doubling that up on Terry Donahue. nicest men you'll ever meet in the game of football. Really one of the most honest men you will ever meet.
Really a class act, and as you said, Billy, is, you know, just regardless of my involvement with him, and you know, you never really like your head coach a lot when you're playing for him, but you have that chance to create a relationship afterwards, and you realize, looking back, the reasons why he had to treat you and the rest of the teammates on an equal basis. But outside of football, and of course he's the winningest all-time in Pac-10 history, but outside the lines, as good a person as you'll meet.
Flags down. Big defensive series for the Avengers. You want to try to hold them to no more than 3 here going into the locker room.
Illegal formation on the offense, both 56 and 99 declared as a tight end. 3-yard penalty remains, first down.
Oops. So it's like you're taking attendance in class. Everybody raising their hand. Oops. Only one can. Well, as you come into the line.
Let's take a minute to explain that, or a couple seconds to explain that to our viewers. You have a center on the offensive line and 2 offensive linemen, and one of those offensive linemen will come to the line of scrimmage. We'll see if we can get a shot of that for you. But one of those linemen come up to the line of scrimmage, they raise their hand, and they're an eligible receiver, the tight end.
It's Wendell Gaines this time around, but he's just blocking that short pass dumped down into the carpet. Incomplete, short of the intended receiver, Cooper. It'll be second down, still 16 seconds remaining on this short 50-yard field in Avenger territory, down at 23.
We'll have to get a ruling from referee Terry Lipsky. It's actually Dennis Lipsky. Oops.
Where'd you get Terry out of that?
Dennis might give us a ruling on whether if you come to the line of scrimmage and you get 2 linemen declaring, can one take it back? And they say, hey, Dennis, can I take that back?
With 2 timeouts remaining, Bonner takes the snap. Little screen to McMillan. McMillan will be hit from behind. Down he goes to the 15-yard line. Excellent pursuit by the sack man, Victor Hall. Be a timeout called quickly by the Rattlers with 9 seconds remaining, and they'll spot the ball back at the 16-yard line. So the spot good for the Avengers. Still 1 timeout remaining now for Danny White's team. 16-yard line. It'll be 3rd down upcoming. Once again, want to remind all that immediately following our AFL contest here at Staples Center, it'll be the National Sports Report for the Fox Network Center. Everybody will be there. Some of the topics: baseball, of course, the Lakers and the Pacers getting set for Game 3 tomorrow, and for you hockey fans, Can Jersey close it out. I will give you a little bit of a tease. That game has gone to overtime, so don't turn the channel. Please do not. You're a football fan watching anyway. You don't want to see what's happening on the ice. You're interested in the 50-yard war on the Staples carpet. I know David Norrie and John Jackson are. David Norrie, you were unusually pumped up for this one tonight. I could tell from the moment you walked into the press room.
Well, I'll tell you what, there is a decided lift in enthusiasm here at Staples Center coming off that first franchise victory for the Avengers.
Bonner. Loss, end zone, incomplete. But Cobb was late getting over. And actually, Gatewood, who's been rather quiet here tonight, he's an outstanding receiver. The number 3 pass catcher on the team. Looked a little confused as it was coming his way. Back in 1997, he was an all-AFL choice.
Well, Cobb was fooled. He thought the ball was going to arrive early, and it really should have. Bonner's, this is a misfire. The ball's underthrown, thrown behind Gatewood, and that should be a flag.
Absolutely contact.
If you don't get your eyes back to the quarterback and you make contact, it also does not allow Gatewood to get an arm up in the air. Even though the ball was poorly thrown, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a flag dropped on that one.
Good call by you. That's a missed call by the official. Nitmo now. Ball down. Kick up. 32 yards. Kick good at the horn.
26, the Avengers,
Bad news is the Rattlers get one right at the horn, but the Avengers do hold this high-powered offense to only 3 on that final drive, and they find themselves square in this game. However, again, trailing at the half. Same old song and dance for Los Angeles. 26-17. Rattlers trying to win and tie San Jose for the top spot in the Western Division, and the Avengers trying, as we mentioned again, to follow up their first ever franchise win with another one here. In just a matter of moments, we're going downstairs, and John Jackson is with Coach Stan Brock.
Thanks, Billy. And, Coach, your team comes out there, start off like gangbusters to come out with the touchdown. Miranda Vista Jackson, of course, at the end of the half. So you have to be pleased at the beginning and the end, but we need something in between.
In the middle now, we can't go down and get the ball down on the 1-yard line and come away with no point. We did it twice. We have a turnover, and then we have to kick the field goal. They're playing well. I feel like we've given them probably 17 points right now. We're down by 9. We'll go make some adjustments at halftime, come out, play a cleaner second half.
Now, how about your team? They're playing with more enthusiasm coming off of last week's game.
Yeah, a little bit. They're improving, but we got a long way to go. We're playing against a good football team. I feel like we had the opportunity to win.
Well, great, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Okay,
Billy, back to you.
As always, we appreciate the time of Stan Brock coming over, and now he'll hustle out and talk to his team in the locker room. Entertaining first half. Glad you're with us. We're back with our halftime in a moment.
Why is the sky blue? What are bugs made of? You could always ask Dad anything. And now, with a special Father's Day package from Verizon Wireless, he'll still be in touch with all the answers. Get Dad a colorful AudioVox 4000 phone. Then for $24.99 a month, get free unlimited mobile-to-mobile calling with other Verizon Wireless customers in your home calling area. For the perfect Father's Day, no questions asked. Visit a Verizon Wireless communications store or call 1-888-466-4646. Verizon Wireless. Join in.
There's nothing like McDonald's. For over 40 years, we've been a part of your life. We're what you begged for as a kid and what your kids beg for today. We've always been a place of value that started with our original McDonald's hamburger, still only 29 cents every Wednesday, and our classic cheeseburger, just 39 cents every Sunday, or our crispy 6-piece chicken McNuggets, only 89 cents every Tuesday. There's nothing like McDonald's. For food, for fun, for memories. Did somebody say McDonald's?
You know, most men get pretty shook up about losing their hair. But today, many of them are learning about Bosley Medical. They use your own living hair to fill in the thin spots. Just look at that. It really works. You can treat it like real hair because it is real hair. Your own naturally growing hair. So you don't have to worry about it.
Bosley Medical is the world's most experienced hair restoration practice. For over 25 years, they have performed more than 130,000 procedures using the innovative micrografting techniques pioneered by founder Dr. L. Lee Bosley.
Each surgeon at Bosley Medical is board certified and individually trained by me.
So if you want to have your own naturally growing hair back, call this number for more information. We'll send you this free video and in-depth guidebook that gives you the real facts about hair restoration. There's no cost and absolutely no obligation. So do it for yourself. Call now and get the real results you've been looking for.
It's your real hair.
You can't do better than real.
Halftime at Staples Center, an event in itself. First half, Avengers down 26-17, but they put their faith in a gentleman that certainly knows how to build winners in the AFL. He is head coach Stan Brock. Avengers head coach Stan Brock played in the NFL for 16 years, and this season marks Brock's 4th as a head coach in the AFL.
As a player, again, all I have to do is worry about me. All I had to do was study and make sure that I was prepared. And preparing means that getting the right amount of sleep, studying correctly, practicing right, getting your weightlifting in, and then being ready to play physically and emotionally. As a coach, you have to worry about, are my fields lined? Did I practice everything I need to practice? Do the players understand what I'm trying to teach them? It's as different as night and day playing and coaching.
Another difference, the facilities the Avengers have at their disposal.
There's nobody in the league that has what we have. I don't know if you've seen our weight room, but we have a weight room that's comparable to NFL weight rooms. We have a facility with our own meeting rooms and our own locker rooms, and we don't have to get on a bus and travel someplace else to practice. We come out to a beautiful grass practice field, and we have the nets, and all that is a bonus.
Knowing how football hungry this city is, and the venue that we play in, the Staples,
And then knowing that going to have the chance to coach under a guy that's been in this league for 3 years, that's been through the wars, who's developed a Portland team that wasn't very good and brought them to playoff caliber team last year. This team is going to go places, and they're going to develop into what we want, and that's a championship caliber team.
I like him. He's a player's coach. You know, he cares about his players. He's very personal. He's a personal person, and those are kind of coaches you like playing for, because you always go out and fight your heart out for him, because I mean, he's not fake, he's not phony, and I mean, he's just there for his players, and I appreciate that. So.
And Stan knows what his team needs to do the rest of the season.
To become more consistent football team, and then to become competitive. We have to, the consistency level has to get there. We have to be able to go out and execute. And that means if we only run 2 plays the whole game and we execute them, we'll have a chance to move the ball. Defensively is the same thing. So to simplify things so that we can execute them correctly and then be competitive and ultimately win football games.
Stan Brock, head man, LA Avengers, and entertaining the A-Team. Great dance troupe for the Avengers. We'll see you in a minute.
From Asia to Europe to America, of all the cars ever made, one car has now outsold all the others.
Corolla's the one.
Toyota Corolla, the world's all-time best-selling car.
We can do this easy.
Corolla, once again, a Consumer's Digest Best Buy.
It's perfect.
To drive home the world's best-selling car, just see your Toyota dealer right here in Southern California.
I'm sold.
Harvey. Hey, Ted.
That was my last one.
Moving on, guys. He's dry.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
Eat it.
Make it a Bud Light. You want to go for a ride?
Oh, yes. Warning, this ride may be too intense. For anyone with a weak heart.
Don't look at me!
Faint pulse.
Here's where it gets tricky.
Or a low tolerance for speed.
Suspect southbound, 140 miles an hour.
Nicholas Cage. Gone in 60 seconds.
Are you all right? Because you just drove through a wall.
Rated PG-13. Now play.
The Charbroiled Chicken Club. Don't bother me. I'm eating. Carl's Jr.
It's the pride of What's the Matter You, Moose and Rocket J Squirrel on the field. Why? We're not sure at Staples. And give Dad the gift of football next Sunday, June 18th. Celebrate Father's Day at Staples Center. We'll be here as the LA Avengers take on the Florida Bobcats at 5:30. With the purchase of each adult admission, get one child 12 or under free. Great way to spend Father's Day with the family. We'll see you here. 4 tickets, 4 dogs, 4 drinks, and parking. The Bobcats and the Avengers. Moose and Squirrel say we'll be back after this.
There's nothing like McDonald's. For over 40 years, we've been a part of your life. We're what you begged for as a kid and what your kids beg for today. We've always been a place of value that started with our original McDonald's hamburger, still only 29 cents every Wednesday, and our classic cheeseburger, just 39 cents every Sunday, or our crispy 6-piece chicken McNuggets, only 89 cents every Tuesday. There's nothing like McDonald's. For food, for fun, for memories. Did somebody say McDonald's?
Give me a head with hair, long, beautiful hair. To everything, turn, turn, turn. This is the dawn. curtains. Sign, sign, everywhere a sign. Blocking out the scenery, breaking my mind.
You and I travel to the beat of a different drum.
Come on, people now. Smile.
Spirit of the 60s on 2 cassettes or 2 CDs. Call this toll-free number for Spirit of the 60s. Cassettes $19.98, CDs $26.98 plus $5.50 shipping. Have your credit card ready and call now.
Yeah, we're in this together. Together forever. We're in this together. Well, yeah, we're in this together. Forever and ever. We're in this together. Together forever and ever. Feels so good. Yeah. Oh, forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Yeah.
Oh, no, Mr. Dracula. This doesn't look good at all. I'm afraid these little toothies will have to go.
You'll mean the death of me.
Oh, stop being so batty. All it will mean is giving up nibbling beautiful, soft, and succulent girls' necks for a while.
But without fresh blood, my body will wither and my mind will fade.
One revitalizing Red Bull and you'll be Prince of the Night again. You know, Red Bull gives you wings.
Diamonds, the gift that lasts forever. The Jewelry Exchange in Tustin imports all their diamonds direct. They carry thousands of diamonds, most GIA or EGL certified, and all the guaranteed lowest prices. 1-carat solitaires start at $5.99. The Jewelry Exchange makes all their jewelry in their state-of-the-art factory and has hundreds of rings, pendants, earrings, and bracelets. Only the Jewelry Exchange in Tustin guarantees all their jewelry to a price for at least double, that's right, double the purchase price. Buy factory direct and save. The Jewelry Exchange in Tustin.
Fasten your seatbelts. This could be the start of something new. It's heavenly. It's wonderful. It is bedlam. It is pandemonium. Oh, what a catch. Oh, baby. Down to the 20. He dived into the end zone. Touchdown. Magnificent. Oh, man. Oh, man. What an unbelievable, stupendous finish.
I was sound. You gotta hear this.
Fasten your seatbelts. This could be the start of something new. It's heavenly. It's wonderful. It is bedlam. It is pandemonium. Oh, what a catch. Oh, baby. Down to the 20. He dived into the end zone. Touchdown. Magnificent. Oh, man. Oh, man. What an unbelievable, stupendous finish.
Scores and highlights are only half the story. Now, the nightly show that delivers more coverage, more analysis, more opinions, plus live interaction where you get to sound off.
How did this show get out of control?
The National Sports Report, nightly at 10 and midnight.
Fox Sports Net 2 is proud to present Avengers Football, brought to you by the Daily News. Pick up a copy and get in the game. For home delivery, call 1-800-232-NEWS. By Budweiser, the king of beers. By Wells Fargo, official bank of the Los Angeles Avengers. By Ralph's, first in California. By your Southern California Toyota dealers. We make it easy every day. By McDonald's. Did somebody say McDonald's? And by Verizon Wireless. AirTouch Cellular has become Verizon Wireless. Simple, affordable. Join in. Staples Center, the sports and entertainment capital of the world. The NBA Finals, soon the Democratic National Convention. But tonight, that's right, it's arena football. I'm Bill Macdonald, David Norrie, John Jackson also here. Glad you're with us. Second half kickoff. Here comes Hunky. 5-yard line, on his feet. Can he get to the left side with some room? Kyle Pooler can't hit. Here goes Hunky. He's looking for an AFL record, and he stopped at midfield. 16 kicks for touchdowns in his great career, and 3 this year. 29 yards on that one, and great field position to start the second half.
And if you've ever been involved in football, you go all the way back to Mighty Might football, Pop Warner high school level. What does the coach tell you? Keep those legs moving and watch Hunky keep those legs churning. He breaks the tackle of Kyle Pooler, the kicker, and eventually it's going to be Chilcote hunting him down from behind, but super individual effort by Cooper on the return.
How many stops can the Avengers get on Bonner? First snap, second half, quickly near side. Bryant streaking down the sidelines into the boards. Good gain on first down just inside the 20-yard line. And the Avengers are getting a nice look at this great rookie, Maurice Bryant. His debut was versus Iowa, and a sparkling one it was a few games ago. 11 catches, 4 touchdowns, and this newcomer has helped open things up.
Well, and when you have a receiver with the talent of a Bryant, especially after the catch, you do some things to get the ball out to him on easy touches, and that's what the design of that last play brought about.
Finally, they're getting Gatewood involved. Second team All-AFL last year. Tops in touchdowns. Good play, though, by Green to close quickly. And as mentioned again, Gatewood got married just this past Sunday, so congratulations. And did not have a good game against San Jose. And so many were wondering that mind was wandering a bit down to the altar.
Well, he made a bit of a mistake late in that football game, the fumble that was returned for the touchdown against San Jose, and we'll give him that one on the weekend of his nuptials. You're really on top of your game tonight, Billy.
We had the right words going, didn't we? Flags are down, and this one's going against Arizona.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 19 of the offense. 3-yard penalty remains, third down.
Again, the tough task of trying to put some pressure on Bonner, that 1 sack in over 1,100 attempts. And it has been a strong suit for Los Angeles the last few weeks. They have a 12 sacks on the season, which is 4th in the AFL, and that pressure has added significance over the last couple of games. Let's see if they can at least get a hurry on Bonner. Good protection, near side, Gatewood, another flag down. The hanky parade starts, this one at the 20, and we'll check it.
Well, this might be illegal defense against Los Angeles. They may have had a linebacker outside the box, but what a ball from Bonner. Looks like it is going to go against the Avengers. What a ball to the outside, and Gatewood, nice sharp route breaking off that out move.
Illegal defense, number 44, outside rush. That penalty's declined. Resolve the play. First down.
Andy Chilcote missed a couple of games with injury. Has busted out a couple of huge plays this 2000 season. Integral part both offense and defense. Now in his familiar linebacker position, Bryant, the dangerous one in motion. Bonner with the left hand, lofts it up, nobody home. Actually out in pattern that time. Is Mark Tucker out there in the pattern? I wouldn't think so. The former Trojan. Certainly down the field.
Rattlers were trying to sneak the tight end up the middle of the field, and a nice job by Andy Chilcote for the Avengers to anticipate it, and he basically cut Tucker off on his route.
John Jackson played with Mark Tucker, 6'3", 295 out of USC. He's the tight end on this play, their best pass blocker. Some NFL experience with the Falcons, Colts, Cards, and Jags. Bonner, though, will probably go to a wide on this play. And he does! And a great play by Cobb, who time after time now, David, is coming up with a big stop. That time again on Hunky Cooper.
A super play by Kevin Cobb, and you only have to go back to the last play of the game a week ago against New England. New England on the doorstep, 2 seconds to go, and a great play by Cobb to knock the ball away, preserve the victory, and right here against Cooper, Nice job of leaving his feet, making a play on the football, and Cobb starting to really emerge as a key player in that Avengers secondary.
So many ways Bonner can go. Gatewood leads his team in touchdowns. Cooper's a legend. Bryant has been absolutely flawless tonight. It's Bryant, who's open for the touchdown. Miscommunication defensively, and wide open for 6 is Maurice Bryant.
Some confusion between Rice and Cobb in the secondary, and I think Rice, just with his body language, indicating that Cobb might have been mixed up on his responsibilities, and that's what you do in passing offense. You create picks.
Is there a pick there? I would think so, Dave.
Well, you use close meshes down near the goal line, especially against man-to-man coverage, to free your wide receivers, and that's exactly what happened. Bonner careful not to miss a wide-open Bryant.
Hitmo. Got it. Take a break. Maurice Bryant. You betcha he's good. 33-17. We're 5 minutes into the third quarter. Once again, the Avengers playing a game of catch-up.
Now let's take a look at that last touchdown. Bryant's going to come in motion. Watch the way number 25, Kevin Cobb, plays him. He's going to put his head down here. He's not going to keep his head up. He fans on the jam. Bryant inside, using his frame, using his hands to get free. Easy toss from Bonner. And Arizona extends the lead. 16-point deficit now for the LA Avengers to make up. And the way this Arizona team can score, that's a tall order.
Wells Fargo drive, 6 plays, 26 yards. Bryant now has 6 catches, nearly 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. Cedric Bonner, 14 of 26, 3 touchdowns. This will be spotted at the 5-yard line. And a souvenir.
And a high five. Here, you take it for a second, but I want it back.
Honey, hold it. Now Marinovich, who came back time and time again last week against the Seawolves, and certainly, as you all know, has the demeanor and the composure to orchestrate a comeback. Been in these situations many times during a career that he's been under the microscope since he was a youngster. Marinovich, Anthony Rice sheds the first tackler, but Cooper finishes the duty. And a near first down, but it'll be 2nd down and short.
Well, like any football league that you take a close look at, especially in the passing game, whether it's the NFL, college football, high school, passing offense is all about taking what the defense gives you. And if they're trying to keep a lid on your pass routes, you take the balls underneath. Todd Marinovich doing a much better job this week of taking what Arizona presents him defensively.
Chilko cuts inside, 1st down and more to the 20-yard line, and he's running with authority. So a sprinkling in the run are the Avengers. Good enough to move the chains and get that 1st down to Andy Chilko.
I'll tell you what, Chili likes to run that football. And remember his first carry way back in that opening game, regular season up in Grand Rapids? From midfield, he busted a 25-yard touchdown run. And ever since then, with a zest in his step when he touches that football from the running back position.
Marinovich. Off his back foot, Culver. And he holds on inside the 10-yard line. Good little out route that time by Culver. And a 1st down, and the Avengers on the move.
But what Todd Marinovich does on this play that's so effective is he'll bring Gatewood away from the throw. Watch the ball come back. Culver cutting down the angle, but Gatewood's on a track defensively towards the flag, and the ball forces Culver to come back, takes the angle away from Gatewood. Super hookup between quarterback and wide receiver.
23 yards. Now inside the 10. You remember the first half had some trouble in here. This is a play that has worked well this season Little pitch to Rice, doesn't get much. John Jackson sidelines.
I've heard about the story with Kurt Warner making the jump from the AFL to the NFL, where there are 5 NFL teams here tonight in the stands to take a look at Todd Marinovich and that man, Cedric Bonner. Both of the quarterbacks are marquee players. Both of them have the potential to play in the NFL. They're getting their tryout tonight. Back to you.
A story that we have been following, and as mentioned, the Chargers probably with the biggest interest on both.
Well, it was inevitable with Kurt Warner and players like Aronde Gadsden down at Miami. Successful jumps to the NFL. It was only a matter of time that the NFL started really taking an aggressive look at some of the athletes in this league.
Todd, it's in the air, incomplete.
You see number 6, Cecil Doggett. He was upset that he got pushed to the ground after the deflection, but that's legal. Once the ball is deflected, you can go ahead and you can make contact, whether you're a defender or a wide receiver.
Cecil has a nose for the football. He has 9 interceptions over the last 2 years and tied with Gatewood. They each have 14 in this franchise.
Look at the deflection there and from behind the push, and Doggett saying, hey, wait a second. I didn't have a chance to make the interception, but the right call and non-call was the proper decision.
Marinovich throws, touchdown, unleash the big fella, Victor Hall. Touchdown Avengers. So after completing 9 in a row and then that interception, Marinovich hooks up, rather that incompletion, excuse me, Marinovich hooks up with Victor Hall for the score.
And just when the Rattlers look like they're ready to disengage and create some spread in that deficit, the Avengers maintain touch, and that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to keep this ball game close, come up with some breaks, and win it in the 4th quarter.
Cooler, perfect. One of the raps on Marinovich this year has been his lack of a high completion percentage. Not so tonight. He's on target, 12 out of 17, 167 yards, and this is one of his 3 TDs to Victor Hall.
Some people are always thinking, obsessed with finding better answers and solutions. For them, there's Office.com, the new internet workplace with the tools and resources business people need most.
We can do this here.
Office.com, the new way to work. A service from WinStar.
Hey, what are you doing this summer? Olympic athletes are working out at 24-Hour Fitness. You can too. 3 months for $75, only at 24-Hour Fitness. Get stronger, faster, get ripped. Get your workout on at 24-Hour Fitness. 3 months, $75. What are you waiting for?
Nice action and execution in the backfield. Look at the fake. They fake the sweep to wide receiver Anthony Rice. And then Marinovich throwing the ball high into the outside. Has to beat Cooper with the throw. Nice job by Victor Hall, extending and making sure of that catch in the back of the end zone. We got ourselves a ball game, 33-24. 5:27 to go, 3rd quarter.
Misdirection and deception work in the Avengers' favor. Look at Cliff Green. Got down there so quickly, but could not wrap up Hunky. Out of the 20-yard line and out of bounds at the 21. Boy, Cliff Green almost made a superlative defensive play on special teams. 25 yards, though, once again. All-purpose yardage for Cooper. Budweiser, the king of beers, brings us the quarterback comparison. Each successful with 3 touchdown passes. And Todd Marinovich, we knew it would be different this time around. He was sacked frequently and threw 3 picks the first time against Arizona.
Yeah, he came into the game with 14 touchdown passes, 7 interceptions, and really not the same type of numbers you find from Bonner. Bonner, 45 TDs, only 4 interceptions, but let's be honest, Todd has not been around long in this league. Different type of football. He's starting to settle down, and really the difference in this game has nothing to do with the quarterbacks. 2 short yardage opportunities on the goal line really blown by the Avengers.
Bonner. Near side, out of the reach of Oliver, who is more of a defensive force on this team, and the mad scramble goes.
Oliver playing his college football up in Eugene. Quack attack, Oregon Ducks.
Oh, I can't believe that you just busted out that little line. Quack attack.
Well, when you're from the Beaver State,
as you are,
as I am, you can bust those out.
From the Beaver State is David Norrie, pride of Southern California, John Jackson, and I'm Bill Macdonald. That is Cedric Bonner. 307 career touchdowns. Number 4 all-time on the AFL list. Looking for one right here, perhaps. Oh, what a defensive play again. Who else? Cobb. The quick hand in front of Maurice Bryant.
I'll tell you one thing. Kevin Cobb is opening up my eyes. And as a quarterback, you don't want to see a defensive back with this type of break ability, as I like to call it. I mean, he settles down on his back pedal in a hurry. Watch him drive, perfectly timed. Defensive back coach going to get excited when they see that type of thing.
Bonner, oh, here's some pressure. Lost it up in the air. Oliver colliding a bit with Green. He gets up looking for a flag. Not going to be there. So this much maligned defensive backfield rising again to the occasion, and they are pumped up. But for once, a little pressure on Danny White's quarterback.
Yeah, and even when you get pressure on Bonner, usually it doesn't matter. He's got the feet, but we're going to see Kevin Carroll, number 62, lined up opposite the center. And here comes Brian Easter, former ASU Sun Devil. And he comes close to getting a sack. Even when Bonner doesn't have the protection, he has a habit of either avoiding the rush or a gift to just unload the about 40, 45 yards.
Nitmine has not done well in the long field goal department. It's a fake. Thunderbird. Flag down.
I think he threw this one over the line of scrimmage.
He absolutely did, and this is coming back. Lance Thunderbird.
Nice job by Thunderbird to stay alive and to find an open receiver. Even took a little off that pass, but unfortunately for Danny White in Arizona, Thunderbird lost, you call it in basketball your court sense. And I think it's your field awareness in football, Billy, but
something that Sam Perkins doesn't have.
The pass was beyond the line of scrimmage, therefore it's an illegal forward pass. That's a 5-yard penalty and loss of down. First down, Los Angeles.
Wow, huge mistake.
Well, the fake is set up well, but the Avengers respond pretty well downfield. And now you'll see Thunderbird. He'll have a man come open in the secondary. That was Jai Hill, and he drops it off nicely. Unfortunately, Thunderbird just a step or two over the line of scrimmage, and the Avengers get a badly needed stop on defense.
Here is your key sequence in this football game, I believe. An opportunity given to the Avengers to get back to within one score. Marinovich inside the 20, and that is deflected by Gaines at the line of scrimmage. It'll be second down. In the game now is Travis Hanna, number 80, who's that world-class sprinter from USC, who has missed a couple of games with an injury. He wears number 80. So you got the long and the short of it now. With Hanna in there, the little guy, and Bruce Lesane, who's the big possession target. And there is Gaines, who made the defensive play.
Yeah, Bruce Lesane, he's an experienced veteran in the Arena League. Back in '94, first team All-Arena. And he's got that great combination of size and athleticism that helps him on both sides of the football.
Hanna in motion. Everybody left. Marinovich wants Travis. He's got him. Banged against the boards, but it's good enough for a first down. Perfectly run right past the chains. It'll be first and goal for the red, white, and blue of the LA Avengers.
Travis Hanna has world-class speed. We've talked about his ability as a sprinter and On this last play, a nice job of hanging on to the football. Oliver's going to make a break on this ball defensively, and he's going to make a nice solid hit. And that's head first into the boards. You don't find that in any other league other than the Arena Football League. And that's a little extra something you have to be thinking about if you're a wide receiver.
Maybe now near the goal line, you try Lassane, the big target. Right there, he's got a touchdown! It only made sense. You got the biggest target on the field. Quickly, touchdown. Avengers right back in at 33-30.
Well, Billy, maybe you should be calling the plays. You calling the plays, this team may have a winning record after that display right there. And this is a nice play call by the Avengers. And a nice call by my partner to predict it. It's an inside slant route, quick slant. Ball was positioned on the front pocket by Todd Marinovich. And Lassane making sure he comes down with that football securely for the touchdown.
Horn sounds, but they will still kick at this end. And this will be the last snap of the third quarter. And the Avengers taking advantage of the miscue for Arizona. Sempton-Felter will hold. Marinovich, 14 out of 20, 4 touchdowns. And David, 8 different Avengers have caught a Marinovich pass. That's impressive.
Well, it is really impressive, especially when you talk about the acquisitions. And throughout the year, it's been a constant project, a moving, ongoing project with Wasserman, the owner, Stan Brock, the head coach. They've done a great job increasing depth at that wide receiver position.
We'll
be right back.
That's right.
Travis, you ready yet?
Almost, Abby.
You're supposed to be at Black Angus at 7.
I know, Abby.
And Travis, you be sure to wear your new black boots.
What a man won't do for a good steak.
At Black Angus, get a thick, juicy, tender filet mignon and petite lobster tail dinner. Get the complete dinner, all for only $14.99. Black Angus, if you really love steak.
You know, most men get pretty shook up about losing their hair. But today, many of them are learning about Bosley Medical. They use your own living hair to fill in the thin spots. Just look at that. It really works. You can treat it like real hair because it is real hair. Your own naturally growing hair, so you don't have to worry about it.
Bosley Medical is the world's most experienced hair restoration practice. For over 25 years, they have performed more than 130,000 procedures using the innovative micrografting techniques pioneered by founder Dr. L. Lee Bosley.
Each surgeon at Bosley Medical is board certified and individually trained by me.
So if you want to have your own naturally growing hair back, call this number for more information. We'll send you this free video and in-depth guidebook that gives you the real facts about hair restoration. There's no cost and absolutely no obligation. So do it for yourself. Call now and get the real results you've been looking for.
It's your real hair.
You can't do better than real.
Leave the city behind. Leave everything behind. The new 240 horsepower Infiniti QX4. Imagine the ultimate luxury vehicle. We have.
Fox Sports Net 2 presents Avengers Football, brought to you by The Daily News. Pick up a copy and get in the game. For home delivery, call 1-800-232-NEWS. By Wells Fargo, official bank of the Los Angeles Avengers. By Ralph's, first in California. By your Southern California Toyota dealers. Choose a special lease or low financing on any new 2000 Toyota. We make it easy. By McDonald's. Did somebody say McDonald's? And by Budweiser, the king of beers. We are set for a fabulous finish in this one. The final 15 about to be written 33-31. Welcome back. Live Staples Center. Stan Brock and the Avengers down by only 2. I'm Bill Macdonald with Dave Norrie and John Jackson. Live arena football for a Saturday night. And here he comes. Hunky Cooper again. Is he something else? Across midfield down to the 22-yard line. That time blazing into Avenger territory. Unstoppable. The AFL Ironman. 34 more all-purpose yards.
Well, I was waiting for Hunky here to lay a move on Pooler, the kicker, but watch Pooler take him helmet to helmet. Pretty impressive for a place kicker to take on a 5'9", 190-pounder at full speed. But for a second, Cooper tried to side slip him and take it to the house.
Bonner. Looking quickly. That's an easy play to call. Touchdown. Is it a touchdown? It is. What a catch. I was more concerned with the penalty that was coming up to Cobb, and then up to get it was Randy Gatewood.
Well, this is an unbelievable throw from Bonner, but an even more incredible catch.
Exactly.
I mean, you talk about making plays for your football team. Gatewood had an arm pinned to his side by Cobb. Obvious pass interference call, and just a great effort to go up and still make the catch.
David, I had already given the penalty to Cobb and the incompletion to the Rattlers. Oh, we speak too soon. Gatewood, sensational stuff. And he continues. That's why he is the #1 touchdown maker on this team. As we go to break, and the 4th touchdown from Cedric Bonner. What's the penalty? Doesn't matter. Gatewood got it.
See the stars of tomorrow today with Student Sports Magazine. Read about the country's top players in football, basketball, baseball, track and field, and more. Right now, you can get a 1-year subscription to Student Sports Magazine for just $19.99. That's 10 issues packed with coverage of high school athletes from all over the country. And keep up, too, with the latest in high school sports with the website at studentsports.com. With Student Sports Magazine, you'll be ahead of the game. Know tomorrow's stars today.
When it comes to half-ton towing capacity, Chevy Silverado beats any 4x4 V8 from Ford or Dodge. When it comes to size, Silverado has the biggest extended cab of any half-ton pickup.
What'd you do to my truck? I just gave it a wash.
And with an offer like this, we made a great truck look even better. Silverado, the truck from Chevy.
A man's got to protect his image.
No reason to smile, no reason to get excited if you're an Avenger, because a quick turn of events to start the 4th quarter. Really sensational concentration by Randy Gatewood to haul in that touchdown pass.
And the Arizona pass offense has been most successful when they've gone down the field. Bonner, watching him tonight, you get a sense that at least this evening, a much better deep passer coming down underneath to those short intermediate routes, and he's had several great hookups on deep balls for touchdown.
You know, make no mistake, you're looking at the class of the AFL. He and Albany's Mike Pawlowski. Rice again, who has done well returning kickoffs, and he gets into Rattler territory. One more once, if you will, the Rattler touchdown. That was a 34-yard return before we go to the replay.
Well, in the Arena League, it's advantage offense when the wide receiver gets that running start towards the line of scrimmage in motion, and watch the end of the play. And we don't see the early contact from Cobb. We will on this angle. Watch him pin that left arm. Gatewood struggles, fights to get that left arm free, and then catches that ball back over his head. I mean, that's just a wonderful play by a wide receiver for the touchdown.
9 touchdowns now over 2 games against the Avengers for Bonner. Jackson continues his mastery of the secondary and also the run after catch. You know, he's not a huge guy, is Chris Jackson. He does have size, though, 6'2", 204, but you show and saw his ruggedness. Terry Card, the offensive coordinator, if you will, and quarterback coach. There he is. Finally relieved himself with the victory last week. Todd outside. Chilcote gets bumped, incomplete. John Jackson, what do you got?
Hey, Bill, well, you know that this is by far Todd Marinovic's best game. And in talking to Coach Stan Brock before the game, he said he gave Todd a vote of confidence that he will be the quarterback. He's going to stick with him. And since that point, Todd's been more comfortable. He's studied more film, and he's making better reads. We'll see if he can rally the Avengers to victory tonight. Back to you.
Well, and also, this game is about football, but it's also about entertainment. And you talk about the Arena Football League, there's a big entertainment quotient to it. And Todd Marinovich playing at USC, the local kid, fans want to see him on the field.
Knocked away, and that is classic Cecil Doggett. Boy, the two-time All-World League performer. Been around 4 NFL camps. Just a late close and knocking it away.
Yeah, 2 of the best defensive backs in this league sit in the secondary for Arizona. One is Walker and Doggett, number 6. And he got beat earlier in this football game on a touchdown pass between Marinovich and Jackson, but a great effort on that one.
Jackson's got 6 catches, make it 7 for a touchdown. They just won't go away, will they? Mr. Clutch, Chris Jackson. Good pump fake by Todd Marinovich to really freeze things in the defensive backfield and open it up as the owner loves it.
Good call, Billy, and Casey Wasserman has reason to be excited. Very well executed pump and go, and a nice job by Todd Marinovich to make sure he doesn't overshoot Jackson in the end zone.
We'll dissect that touchdown throw with David Norrie after we take a break. Pooler adds the extra point, and once again, it's a 2-point game. 11:15 remaining. 40-38. Avengers down to one of the top teams in the league.
Forgettable era.
There's a sense of compliments, meaningless nouns. Turn on, tune in, turn your eyes around.
Give me a head with hair. Long, beautiful hair.
To everything, turn. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. In a white room with black curtains. Sign, everywhere a sign. Looking at the scenery, breaking our mind.
You and I travel to the beat of a different drum.
Come on, people now.
Spirit of the 60s on 2 cassettes or 2 CDs. Call this toll-free number for Spirit of the 60s. Cassettes $19.98, CDs $26.98 plus $5.50 shipping. Have your credit card ready and call now.
7 catches, 102 yards, 3 touchdowns from his main man, Todd Marinovich. There's Chris Jackson. Marinovich, an impressive 16 of 24, over 200 yards and 5 touchdowns, and he'll take a respite down in the tunnel behind his owner. You know, this is such a different team than we saw 2 weeks ago in San Jose. I'm just talking about the way they're walking on the field, not just executing.
Well, and you know, you can't come off that win last week against New England. Everybody was talking about it. Stan Brock, Casey Washington, very different tempo and level of intensity at practice this week, and it's showing in the game.
Muffed by Cooper. Still trying to make something out of nothing. This is going to be a hold against the Rattlers. It'll come back. Last touchdown again, though, as we wait for the flag.
Well, taking another look at the touchdown, it's really the sell in the backfield with the arm freight. This is a pump and go, and watch how Marinovich sells it right here with the pump fake. Okay, let's go ahead and roll. But he gets the reaction he wants from the defensive secondary. They bite on the fake, and Jackson, wide open in the end zone, cuts the lead to 2 points. And Marinovich starting to get charged up here in the 4th quarter, starting to get the feel of this Arena League game.
Good news is it's at the 3. Bad news is these 3 speedsters have the whole field to work with. And Bonner with the gun. And he wants to go long. And he's going for Bryant. Incomplete. blanket coverage that time by Kenny Haslip. He's doing a little trash talking in the process to Maurice.
Well, I'll tell you what, Brian arguing there, saying there was too much contact, and yeah, that's a flip of the coin. Brian has a case, but also you have to reward great aggressive defensive backfield play, and it hurts for me to say that as a former quarterback, but I'll tell you what, Haslip all over him and not giving an inch on the coverage. And that's the way you have to play these receivers, especially with the deep throwing ability of a Cedric Bonner.
Second down with this big crowd now getting more involved. Avengers averaging over 11,000 so far at home in their inaugural season. Cooper in motion. Bonner sets in the end zone. Knocked in the air. Chance to pick it off, and it's incomplete. Oh, what an opportunity. Right in the interior line, and Clark winds up with the football. Look what fell in my lap. It'll be third down.
Pete Onagian, number 51. I think Onagian came up with the deflection. And both Onagian and the nose tackle, Clark, were looking for this ball. They were trying to find it in the air. Let's see who gets a piece of it. It's Onagian. All right, number 51. And it's just behind it. Picked it up just a second too late with his eyes. Well, he walks into the end zone.
Third down. Bonner, deep end zone. Throws, knocked away. 2 plays in that series by numero uno, Kenny Haslip.
Well, Haslip was a heck of a player in his college days at USC. He's one of the most talented defensive backs that you could find on the West Coast. And boy, is he making some plays for Stan Brock tonight. And he continues to play aggressively in the defensive backfield. Watch the contact. He's going to use that left hand. It almost looks like he gets a piece of the jersey, but he's sure doing a great job with the right arm. So he's got that left hand working on the back of the receiver, but a nice play to knock the ball away just at the last second, and another big stop for LA on defense.
And a timeout spent by Arizona. 8:38 remaining in the fourth. And in a moment, Todd Marinovich will get an opportunity to get his hands on the football, and it has been a glorious night so far for the former Trojan and LA Raider.
Well, for the Avengers fans here at Staples Center, they're hoping they get a look at some more of this. The touchdown catch by Jackson opened up the scoring. Another at the end of the second quarter. The rollout to the left to big Victor Hall. And then the slant pass to Bruce Lesane, the newly acquired Bruce Lesane. The pump and go perfectly executed to CJ once again. And look at Stan Brock. Starting to loosen up a little bit on the sideline. The eternal optimist, 16-year veteran in the NFL. Played on that 94 Super Bowl team with San Diego.
And again, the point, you can't get a read on whom Marinovich is going to, or the play that Terry Karg is calling. They are really mixing their targets so well tonight.
Well, you have to give credit to the wide receivers for the Avengers tonight, and give some credit to the big guys up front, giving Marinovich time. That's been a real key for LA, keeping that defensive rush off of Marinovich, keeping that number 12 jersey clean. But getting back to the wide receivers, so many talented receivers on the outside for Marinovich to choose from.
Fourth down, and they're going. Bonner throws long, incomplete.
Well, I don't understand
Explain that to me.
I cannot explain that. Two-point game?
Wow. One of the befuddling. I mean, if you want to throw an interception as a punt, per se, go ahead and throw an interception.
Well, it's tough to dissect this play before dissecting the logic behind going for the first down. And I'm looking around me in the Staples Center, and there's some fans with very quizzical looks on their faces. And to be honest with you, I'm a little curious as to why they would go for it on fourth down, backed up against their own goal line. I mean,
that makes worse sense than Brock not going for the touchdown on 4th and 1.
I don't know if Danny White short-circuited right there.
Touchdown!
Chris Jackson again.
A monumental mental miscue by Danny White leads to the go-ahead touchdown by the Avengers.
I mean, this Arizona team is a half game back in the Western Division, and they've won 4 consecutive division titles. They need to win tonight against an expansion team here in LA, a very revved up expansion team under the ownership of Casey Wasserman, the head coach Dan Brock. But how you go for it on 4th and 10 from your own 1-yard line, maybe your own 2-yard line in that situation, is beyond me. And all I can say is that's a short circuit from the top man, from the head man. You just don't make that decision no matter what level of football you're playing. I mean, you talk about gambling, rolling the dice.
Now going for 2, Marinovic. Throwing near side, incomplete. So the lead is at 4, and while we were still trying to make sense of what Danny White was calling, the Avengers made a quick snap and a score to Jackson. Chris Jackson, who caught the winning TD last week. There'll be more scores tonight, trust me, probably 2 or 3 more, but here it is, Dave.
Well, I really like the feed of Todd Marinovich, and if you watch that last play, he hesitated a little bit. When you're throwing the quick slant, you got to wait for a window to open. Watch here, a little hesitation, and then the second movement forward with the arm is the delivery, front pocket catch. I mean, Todd Marinovich slipped that into a tight spot. And I'll tell you what, I don't know whether that was a bad decision or just a mistake not knowing what down it was. But Danny White just turned a lead into a 4-point deficit in a hurry.
There's 2 Pac-10 performers congratulating each other. 44-40. This is what arena football is all about. We're glad you're with us tonight on Fox Sports Net. We've seen some blowouts against the Avengers this year, and this is clearly our most entertaining game that we have been able to bring you. And Todd Marinovich pumped up, as are the fans. They're on their feet at Staples Center. Come out and see it. Plenty of time this year to see arena football as pro football is back in Los Angeles. Now Bryant. He hits the line. Fumble! Avengers have it. And Pooler was there.
Well, finally, Stan Brock has to be thinking, we're getting a break or 2 late in the football game. This Avenger team had only led 31 minutes total. In all 8 games combined this season, they take a lead once again here in the 4th quarter in a big special teams play. The ball comes loose, and a great play there to not only force a fumble by Maurice Bryant, but Pooler to cover that football and create the turnover for the Avengers.
Unraveling quickly for one of the premier teams, Arizona, in a key game for them. A half game down of San Jose, timeout Los Angeles. Now the Rattlers are also in the minus department in turnovers. They are now a -5. Let's go down to John Jackson.
Hey, Billy, well, I'll tell you, the excitement in the crowd is unbelievable. It's so noisy down here. It feels like a Laker game. All 12,000 fans on their feet. Get a chance to look at Ken Haslett, though. Remember, the defensive backs are beginning torched in past games. He has led the charge for that defensive back crew. Kenny Haslett, more known as a physical corner, has shown some grace for the Avengers. Back to you, Bill.
Well, there have been some stories behind the story. That's a great pickup by John Jackson. Kenny Haslett has been a real catalyst for this team, not only defensively, but as a team as a whole. He's really fired up this squad. Chris Jackson on offense, and a real hidden area that has been just so strong tonight for the Avengers. The offensive line giving Todd Marinovich time to get back in rhythm, get rid of the football, pick his receivers. and take advantage of the talent that he has on the outside.
Major League Baseball coming your way again tomorrow on Fox Sports Net 2. The Dodgers and the A's. We'll have all the live action from beautiful Chavez Ravine, Vince Scully and the crew. The golden voice of your Dodgers. That's the A's and the Dodgers on Fox Net 2 tomorrow, starting at 12:30 with our pregame show. Marinovich on first down. Near side, diving try. That's Culver. And unable to take that one off the carpet. It'll be second down. And you see the clock. It's moving with 6.5 remaining, and the Avengers up by 4.
Yeah, one of the rare core throws that we've seen from Todd Marinovich. He had a wide open receiver on that route. A nice running start by Culver on motion towards the line of scrimmage. And he just kind of short-armed that one. When you're playing as well as Marinovich tonight, you're entitled to a couple misfires.
Henn is in there, along with Culver, who's now in motion, and Jackson. Easter is the back. He will get the handoff and struggle for maybe a yard to the 20-yard line. Set up a 3rd and long for the Avengers. 3 now, of course, will put them a touchdown ahead. And as we mentioned time and time again, if you're just joining us for the first time in Arena Football League, 5.5 minutes is forever in this league.
Yeah, and this is probably the biggest play of the game for the Avengers. You have a 4-point lead. You know Arizona's capable of coming back and scoring not only once, but 2 or 3 more times. You need to extend the lead beyond a touchdown.
Culver hits the line of scrimmage, a running, and he dropped. That would have been very close to a first down. Now, 4th down at the 20-yard line.
That's a big, big mistake at the wide receiver position. At this level, you have got to make that catch, and Culver visibly upset, and he should be. I mean, that is such a key play. This Avenger team trying to knock off a perennial front runner in the Arena League. Culver's got to make that play, and he didn't come up with it. And let's see if that costs the Avengers down the line.
Pooler can get back at his ex-mates. He spent much of last year on the injured list for the Rattlers. 36-yard field goal. Down, up, and no good. Wide to the right. So the Missourian Kyle Pooler cannot hit. And it remains 44-40 with 4:28 remaining.
That drop gets magnified a couple notches on the miss by Pooler.
Yeah, even if he doesn't get a first down, you get 9 yards closer for the kick. Good point. Coming up immediately after the game, the National Sports Report. All the stories, all the scores, all the highlights, all the opinions, and you can get involved interactive. The fresh perspective of the National Sports Report coming up right after us here from Staples Center. Bonner brings him up at the 5. The 6-2 Arizona Rattlers have not lost to a sub-500 team. Quick out, quick tackle. The catch made by Randy Gatewood, and immediately defensively, the Avengers on it. Oh, I'm sorry, it'll be second down. Danny White. We've talked about his credentials. We've even questioned his calls tonight.
Just one call, but a big one.
Yes. Bonner looks one way, goes the other, down the middle. Bryant's alone, and he's got it. With that in stride, it's a touchdown. He has to come back. The Avengers Cobb comes up with it. No, he doesn't. I was going to say it would have been well after Bryant was tumbled to the turf. But Maurice Bryant once again up to get it. It's a first down at the 13 of the Avengers.
Bryant, a nice play to get open and make the catch, but you know, after the play here, a little bit too much trash talking. A little bit too much after the play, and Bryant lucky not to get flagged right here.
Well, there's a taunt deluxe by number 19. 26 yards on the gain. Clock running. 2:40 remaining. Bonner to throw. Bryant again, stripped away at the 5. That is a great war, David Norrie, going on. Cobb and Bryant.
Cobb comes right back and makes a big play. He doesn't have the size of a Maurice Bryant. Definitely going up against one of the top receivers in the league this year. But he's fighting him tooth and nail. Ball delivered a little bit late. Not quite the front pocket positioning that you'd like to see. And Cobb takes advantage.
Second down, 13-yard line. Bryant in motion. Bonner. Great protection. End zone, but there's a flag. It's a touchdown. Hunky Cooper. There's a flag down at the 7-yard line. But with 1:44 remaining, Arizona appears to have the lead. And they do.
Penalties decline. Result of play. Touchdown.
We have ourselves a shootout. $1:44 to go in this football game. And you just knew it was going to happen. The drop by Culver. Cedric Bonner brings his team right back down the football field. Can't quite pick up the hold there in the end zone. And Bonner, a nice job of putting a little touch on that. Looked like Cooper was lost in the end zone for a second. Couldn't pick up vision on the football very well. But he regained his bearings, made the catch. And Arizona goes right back on top.
Mitno. Down, up, good. And ladies and gentlemen, the stage is set for a repeat performance, perhaps, for the Avengers. Final minute heroics. They're down now 47-44 with 1:17 remaining. Bonner now 18 of 38, 5 touchdowns.
One more look here. Bonner sliding to his right. Nice release there. You know, when you have a man wide open in the end zone, you can take a little bit off the football. He's created some separation from that defensive back, and that's exactly what happened. Big numbers from Bonner tonight. Not scintillating from a completion percentage standpoint, but 255 yards, 5 touchdowns. Came into this game the highest yards passing per game average in the league, 287. For this Arizona outfit, 281 yards per game for Cedric Bonner. And he has responded after that loss last week against San Jose.
Bryant, 7 catches, 2 touchdowns. Cooper, 4 catches, 2 touchdowns. They've combined for nearly 200 yards themselves on the receiving end. And they've done it in front of a crowd of nearly 14,000 here tonight. 13,964. Congratulations go out to the great fans of Southern California. And as David was talking to me earlier, you know, the fans come out and they get into the game, too. It's not like they're coming here and sitting on their hands. They have enjoyed it from start to finish. And we're going to have a brilliant end to this one. 47-44 with 1:17 left. Now, can Rice handle it? Takes a wicked bound off the post. Oh, what a play defensively by Muhammad Oliver. And here we go at the other end along the board. Some shenanigans going on against the Hockey Dashers. It looks like a hockey fight, and it's split up rather quickly.
Temper's running a bit high. But a nice job from Culver playing that ball off the netting. Making amends for his misplay on that last possession for the Avengers. If he doesn't field this ball off the nets, it's a free football, and Arizona almost surely recovers.
Ball will be placed at the 4-yard line. Now stop time will come in 15 seconds. Clock will start now. We'll see if Todd will get a playoff before that. I doubt it. He's going to let things run down to the 1-minute mark. And then the Avengers will have 2 timeouts to work with.
How about the play by Muhammad Oliver just to get a piece of the left cleat of Culver, bringing him down inside the Avenger 5-yard line. Real nice effort by Oliver, not only getting down quickly, but making the tackle. And now Todd Marinovich and the Avengers are going to have to go to work.
In a scene, as I mentioned, so similar to their first win back on the East Coast against the Seawolves when they drove for the winning touchdown in the final minute. Then saw Kyle Pooler's kickoff hit the scoreboard, which gave the Seawolves excellent position, and then knocking a pass away on the final play of the game. Marinovich on first down. That's knocked down at the line of scrimmage. It'll be second down from the 4.
Gaines getting a nice push on the outside, and as a quarterback, sometimes you get the ball deflected, and that ball gets swallowed up by a defensive lineman, and it doesn't end up hitting the turf. Watch. Gaines fighting on the edge, and he almost gets a deflection worthy of an interception.
With Jackson in motion, Marinovich finds Culver, trying to battle for extra yards. Forward progress should take him up to the 12, which will leave him a couple of yards short. Do you spend a timeout here? I don't think you need to, but you've got to get up to the line of scrimmage. Clock running with 40 seconds remaining.
Well, the Avengers got to get up. They're taking way too much time here. I mean, Culver and Marinovich are all walking around, and this is not good clock offense. This is very poorly executed right here by the Avengers.
26 seconds left. Bad management. They're only on the 12, and they've got to convert. It's third down. Marinovich in trouble. Sidesteps. Throws long. Incomplete. All in all, that whole sequence was horrible for Los Angeles, and it now sets up a fourth down with just 16 seconds remaining.
Well, I'll tell you what. As a team, you've got to have awareness in a clock drive. And outside of Todd Marinovich, nobody knew what was going on. As a quarterback, you either spend a timeout right away or you communicate the urgency of the situation to your team. And Todd Marinovich did not do that. He is the pilot flying the plane on the field, very lax. They burned over 30 seconds getting up to the line of scrimmage after that completion to Culver, and it could cost them the football game.
Bottom line is they need to convert. It's 4th and 2. Marinovich, Jackson, stopped out of bounds. First down at the 22-yard line, but just 12 seconds left. David, your strategy here. I would throw one more short ball, get it down to maybe the 15, then have a couple of quick ones into the end zone.
Well, you got 2 timeouts left. And for the life of me, I don't understand why the Avengers didn't use a timeout or get right up to the line of scrimmage after the Culver completion. They only have 12 seconds to work with. You can use the whole field here because you have a timeout. You can get 3 more plays off if you use your timeouts well.
Marinovich throws, race, touchdown! They're the amazing Avengers now.
You talk about making amends. Todd Marinovich was being fitted for the horns after that gap. Inside a minute to go in the clock offense, and he comes back with as good a throw as you'll see. I mean, that was a laser shot. Beautiful ball. Extra point is good.
Big extra point, too. Big one.
The Avengers are back in the lead. What a throw. And what a route. Marinovich 5-step drop, throws the ball, and comes out of there on time. Look at the ballistics. Tight spiral. Looking for Anthony Rice. Remember Anthony Rice? He had the first touchdown in regular season Avenger history back at Grand Rapids earlier in the season. And that ball is placed right on the money. An owner in his 20s gets as excited as any owner he'll see. And wow. Now watch Marinovich. I mean, you talk about making up for a mistake in a big way with your talent and your throwing ability. Todd Marinovich did it on that play.
You can't let Hunky Cooper touch the ball. You don't want to give them good field position on a bad squibber, but you've got the top return man, or one of the top return men in the league, anxiously waiting.
The tough thing here for the Avengers is if you put this ball in play, you got Hunky Cooper as a return man, as you said, Bill, but if you put the ball out of play,
they get good field position.
And you get great field position. In fact, Arizona would get the ball 5 yards short of midfield. That's 30 yards away from a touchdown with 7 seconds on the clock.
It's all on special teams. And Cooper's going to get an opportunity. Here he comes. Cooper has a chance. There he goes. To win the game and set an AFL record in the process. I told you, you don't let Hunky Cooper touch the ball. And they did. 54 yards. He sets an all-time record, bringing his 17th kickback for a touchdown to win an absolute thriller at Staples Center.
Stan Brock has to be devastated. And he's telling his troops, come on, let's get off the field. Let's not hang around out here. It doesn't get any worse than that. And definitely an owner. But Hunky Cooper, you got to give him his due. And not a bad kick by Pooler. Maybe could have gotten a little more height on it. But, I mean, there is a gap here that he takes advantage of. And watch him make the move on Pooler. He just walks right through the tackle. And Cooper is the hero of this ballgame. What a play. The game winner. And a devastating loss for Los Angeles.
The fourth return for touchdown this year for Hunky Cooper. You know, I don't know, David. I mean, I sat there right before it, and I said, you know, you squib it somehow. You just don't let this guy touch the ball. But he gets it anyway, and he makes the play. And you're right. The extra point doesn't mean a thing right now. It's 53-51. Game's over. Arizona wins, and they're tied with San Jose.
You talk about letting Danny White off the hook as well. After that decision to go for it on his own 1 yard line, there would have been some real questions raised, but it's academic. Hunky Cooper took everybody off the hook, except the kickoff team for the Avengers. And this crowd, this big crowd here at Staples Center, is in a state of shock.
A huge crowd, too, of almost 14,000 sees the Arizona Rattlers escape 54-51 in a classic arena football battle tonight. Arizona now 7-2, and the Avengers still have not won at home. They fall to 1-8.
Well, that's about as exciting as it gets in professional football of any type. And you can say what you want about arena football. You can say it's a circus-like atmosphere, the hard rock being blasted in between plays, but we saw some passing offense and some excitement in this game that, you know, it makes you stand up a bit, and this return, I mean, it brings you to the edge of your seat. And that's a shocker. Cooper, a great job of running through the tackle, even though it's a field goal kicker, you know, he just walks right through it, and Stan Brock, he's got to be just, I mean, that's just devastating.
In that sense,
can't get any worse than that.
And there's the quarterback who stood to be the hero again with that pass to Rice. And he just heads into the locker room. So for David Norrie and John Jackson, I'm Bill Macdonald saying so long from a very disappointed Staples Center, where the final score again, the Rattlers in a thriller, 54, the Avengers 51. Don't miss our next telecast next Sunday, Father's Day, June the 18th. When the Avengers take on the Florida Bobcats, Staples Center live at 5:30. Coming up next, the National Sports Report. You've been watching LA Avengers Arena Football on Fox Sports Net. The Rattlers in a thriller. So long.